Jake Ray, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the Spotlight here with the podcast crew. And we are here at the Art on Edge. Such a great day today. Yeah. We were forecasted, a day of rain?
Day of rain, full day.
It's just perfect with perfect cover. It's just a nice breeze and everything as well.
We're grateful.
We are very grateful. We are very grateful, always grateful. But today, I would like for you to share with us your journey to the hypnosis world.
Yeah.
But before you do so, I would like for you to introduce yourself to our listeners today and what is it that you do?
Sure. Well, my name is Jake Ray. Ray of Light Hypnosis is my business, and I am a hypnotist. I do a couple different techniques, including quantum healing hypnosis technique, future life progression. I have my own sort of conglomeration, higher guidance. My main goal, what I love to do in my sessions, is connect people with their higher self, that part of you, that subconscious part that has all the answers, that knows what's going on in this lifetime as well as all of the other ones, and can help you to really understand why you're going through what you're going through, what challenges and how you can solve them, understanding your relationships, your career, your life purpose, your, that weird dream you had when you were a child. I mean, there's so many things that you can understand deeper through hypnosis. And there's also the healing side of it as well, because we know that so many of the hurts and the ailments, the illnesses, these patterns that we have locked in our body are from situations in our life, whether that be this current lifetime or past lives. And so when you're able to understand that, integrate that, not just at a conscious level, but at that deep subconscious level, you can break free from some of those things. So I guess that's a little bit about me and what I do.
Wonderful. So I'm very curious, how did you, fall into this practice, if you will?
Oh yeah, it was definitely one of those things where as soon as I learned about it, it just clicked. So I read a book. Is by this woman, Sarah. She studied with Dolores Cannon, who is the pioneer of quantum healing hypnosis technique. So I read her book, and she was talking about Atlantis and past lives in that time. And there was just something about it. I didn't know anything about hypnosis before, but there's something about it that just stuck with me. And I was just curious. I was interested. It just lit a fire in me. And when I learned that I could learn this technique and I could actually do this with people, it was just yes, I want to do that. Of course I want to do that. And there have been so many synchronicities and beautiful moments along the way that have just reinforced that. But reading was my path in. And then from there, it just took a little bit of faith and trust in stepping out into it. And since then, I've been able to help a lot of people through this modality. So
that's wonderful. It's beautiful when you just follow that nudge. You know what I mean? Okay, it clicked, right? And then you know for sure that you need to follow it. Mm-hmm. So share with us a little bit about the most, memorable person that you're able to help with hypnosis.
Sure. Oh my gosh. There's a lot. It's hard to narrow it down. But, one of the things that I think is most powerful is the connection with the higher self, because this is a part of us that a lot of people misunderstand, or they don't really get it. A lot of people think that it's this part of them that's out there. It's far away. Oh, well, I need a Ouija board and, $6,000 to connect with that person. It's no, that's a part of you. And so you can connect with this part of yourself all the time, but it's not always easy to. And so within the container of a session with me as your guide, it's easy to get into that place. It's easy to tap in and connect with that part of you. And one of the most common things that the higher self says to clients is, "We love you." And it might sound simple and straightforward, and of course, we toss around the word love a lot. There's something different about hearing your higher self say, "We love you," in that place, in that state, where it hits differently. And I've had so many clients afterwards come back to me, and I just had one a couple weeks ago come back to me and say, "Wow, I didn't realize that I needed to hear that as much as I needed to hear that. And it's transformed everything in my life." That feeling of love, that feeling of belonging, when you get that from your higher self, when you get that from that part of you, it fulfills that need in a different way than external love. Of course, we love our family, we love our friends, there's value in that, but when you connect with that part of yourself and you're able to hear that, it's totally different. And so I really think that that's one of the most powerful, some of those powerful moments that I've been able to have with clients, to be able to help them connect and get that validation, that feeling, because the information is great. It's really cool to uncover the information, but it's not just about the information. It's not just about your mental state. It's not just about your mind. This is about feeling it. You feel it in your body, and the experience of it is just something that is hard to put into words. You know, people often ask, what is hypnosis? How does it feel? And I can give you some suggestions, some
explanation.
Absolutely, but it is totally different to feel it for yourself and to experience it for yourself. And so, that I feel like that's a good one to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can most definitely relate to that, because I have been meditating for, a long time. And I had this notion that when I go into a meditative state, I need to see something or feel something or something extravagant with colors and rainbows. But one thing that's really the most profound meditation that I've had, really talking deeply, accessing my highest of highest self, is so simple and it's so cliche. And it just say, love is the answer. And I was like, that's it?
Right.
Are you kidding me? That's it. And the beautiful thing about this, I guess this work, right, is simple. The simple it is, the real it is. And I think most of us human beings, we like complicated things, because when it's complicated, it feels real. But if it's simple, no, that can't be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I totally relate to that. But tell me, what does belief has to do with the effectiveness of a hypnosis session? Does the person have to believe that there is a spirit and there is a higher self, or they don't have to because they will just feel it?
I think that belief is one of those things that you got to have a little bit of it. You don't have to necessarily be like all in, completely sold. But most people who come for a session or who are interested in a session, they've got that little bit. And so even if it's something where you're curious or you're open to it, totally, we can work with that. Because it's something where part of my job is helping you to understand what that experience is like. And so a part of the pre-work, I suppose you could say, in a session is helping you to understand, what is this going to be like? What are some of those commonalities with how people experience it? Because a lot of the mainstream presentations of hypnosis are just not true. I mean, you look at the movies and they're waving things around, and sure, there are techniques out there that work with physical objects or with like snapping your fingers and stuff like that. But there are also other ways to work in that state and work in that way. And so, especially when we're coming at it from the therapeutic side, a lot of it is helping you to understand, what's this going to be like for you? And so I have my tips and my tricks for how to experience it. I mean, I've experienced it quite a few times, and so I can speak from personal experience as well as all the clients that I've helped too. But I guess to bring it kind of back around to belief, you don't need to be completely sold to have the experience. What you do need to do, though, is to allow yourself to experience it. If you are, clenched so tight that you can't relax, well,
that's cortisol right there, right?
It's going to be a little hard then to let this information flow and for yourself to flow with the experience. And so there is, I think there's a level of belief that is helpful. But as long as you're open and you're curious, anyone can do this. I say anyone can be hypnotized, whether you want to or not. I can't tell you that.
I mean, the masses are hypnotized by the television.
Right?
We're on it every single day.
Well, and that's the thing, is hypnosis, the state of trance that we help you enter in within a session, is one that your body is used to. You slip in and out of this trance state literally every day, multiple times a day. When you're driving your car, you slip into trance most of the time. When you're reading a book or watching TV, you're in that light state of trance. And so it's oftentimes people expect it to feel much more foreign or like this totally new experience, but they just don't realize that they are in and out of this trance state often. And so that's part of it, is helping you to understand, okay, this is not...
It's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing. And so this isn't me working witchcraft on you. This is me helping you work with those natural brainwave states.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And so, I can feel the passion. Like, it's hitting me right in the face coming from you. And I know that only comes from not just belief, but the knowing inside. Like, I know this. So tell me, how have hypnosis changed you? Or is there a particular thing that happened that really solidified, this thing is real, baby?
Oh my gosh. I mean, hypnosis has changed my life. I mean, and sure, I am a hypnotist, but I've also had clients who have come and said the session changed their life too. So you don't have to become a hypnotist for it to transform you. But some of the most profound moments were in sessions with clients that I didn't know me, and their higher self shared a message for me personally. That was the most wild. I've had a few of those where I've said, because normally the client comes with a list of questions for their higher self. They have topics or questions they want, whether it be career or relationship or life purpose or that dream from their childhood or something like that. But I always ask at the end, is there anything else that you want to share with us today? And it's been a few. Yeah. And that's not what I'm asking for. I'm just like anything else for the client.
Open-ended question.
Open-ended question. And I've had a few moments where the higher self has said, they've started talking to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, are you talking to me? And they're like, yes, you, Jake. And I'm like, oh, okay. What do you have to share? And just kind of a weird moment, right? Where you're
kind of like,
it's like the fourth wall being broken, where you're like, wait,
and the ego is suddenly,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But giving me reassurance that I'm on my life purpose, like I'm on my path. And like, when I tell you the chills, like the way that hit me in the body, wild. Because it's something that I knew, like there's a level of knowing when you're on that path. There's just a level of knowing, but to have that verbally said to me by a client's higher self, next level experience. Unsolicited, yeah, exactly.
The best, right?
Oh yeah,
amazing.
And those of you who have self-doubt, don't worry, I've had self-doubt since, but it's a practice, and it's those moments that I can think back on and I can reflect on, and helps me to remember that I'm in the right place, I'm headed the right direction. And that's really, I think, the most powerful thing about connecting with our higher selves, is getting that confirmation, getting that reassurance, that encouragement, because so often we just need a little bit of encouragement, right? I mean, this world is tough, and it's especially in such a capitalistic, profit-driven world, it can be hard when you don't have that like profit behind it, or you haven't found your stride yet to feel confident in your life path or confident in the decisions you're making. And your higher self has your back. They're there to support you. And certainly if you get quiet, they're talking to you. I've had so many clients' higher selves say, we wish that you would talk to us more. Please, like, come and talk to us more. And then listen. And that's the big thing. They say you have to listen as well. You have to ask your questions, but you have to be quiet and you have to accept that answer. And the thing about it too is you have to trust that answer too. And that's where, if you struggle in meditation, or if you struggle just in your own daily life to trust, that's where I can help, because I can be that, other person in the room saying, no, you're doing great. You've got it. You just need to let it trust it and let it flow. And that's where, having a guide, having someone assisting you in exploring this is so helpful. And that higher self connection isn't terminated after the session. It's strengthened. And every client that I see, every single one without fail, says afterwards, oh, my connection is so much stronger with my higher self. Oh, I recognize their messages now. I can tell when they're contacting me or when they're sending me something. So, it's not just about what happens in the session. It's about helping you unlock that connection for afterwards as well.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah. It's kind of like having your own, when you're driving, you have a blind side, right? That's person, hey, there's a car over there, right?
Yep.
Or there's one over here.
Yeah, your higher self is that 3D or 360 camera view. They're like, oh, I got you. I see it all, and I'm going to help you navigate.
Exactly, because I am looking down at you. Yep. See all different angles.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful. is such a great place to be when you are just flowing in your life, connected and being guided. Being guided and listening to the guidance are two different things, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like, okay, I heard you, but no, I'm not gonna do that. Then why ask, right? But I'm so very interested in the three different modalities that you just shared. So we have cannons, Dolores cannons modality, the quantum one, and then the future self one, and then your very own that you access from your higher self, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you like maybe give us a differentiation of the three?
Sure. So QHHT, the quantum healing hypnosis technique, is kind of where I got my start. And so that's the foundation that I have built all of the rest of it on. QHHT is unique because when I'm giving a QHHT session, I follow Dolores Cannon's method because it's her method, and I honor that. And it is so effective. It's a longer session, typically 4 to 6 hours is what we say.
Wow.
And that's because you're not under hypnosis for the whole time. But there is sort of the pre-work or the interview beforehand where you're kind of walking me through your life. What's going on? What are your goals for the session? What's been happening in your life that's led you here? What are those key relationships and situations that you've gone through? Helping me to understand where you're at in this lifetime so that when we do the hypnosis, when we do the regression, because past life regression is a big part of that modality, I can know what to look for and I can see those signs of like, ooh, oh, that's tied to this in this lifetime. Let's dig in deeper there. Or, oh, that caught my eye. Let's follow that path. Because each session is unique. And so it's about following the leads and following the information. But with QHHT, it's really a great option if you have a lot of things that you want to uncover, whether it be questions you want to ask or areas of your life that you're looking for help or assistance with, especially if you have healing that you're looking for. The QHHT is a wonderful format and container for really exploring a lot because we do have a good long session.
Yeah.
And I'll, I guess, transition then into higher guidance hypnosis, which is my own kind of conglomeration. Really inspired by Dolores Cannon and her method, but I have tweaked some things and sort of formulated it so that I also can bring in some of the other modalities that I've learned, some of the other techniques, weaving in some of my future work into that. It just allows me to have a little more flexibility in tailoring the session to you as the client and helping you not only get that higher self connection, because that's the main goal there, but also working on, we can go to the future instead of the past if you're interested in it. And there's a couple other things that I can add in. It really gives me the freedom and flexibility to tailor it to you. It also allows me to do remote sessions as well because QHHT is in person only, and they're very particular about that. It's just the institution of QHHT has decided that. And so higher guidance allows me to help my remote people around the world. I mean, I have clients in other countries and such who want that higher self connection, but they can't come to Minnesota to see me. So allows me to kind of break out of the mold there a little bit. So big focus on the higher self with both of those modalities. With the future visioning, or future life progression is also how it's known, works similarly to past life regression, but we're going to the future instead.
Right.
It's the other direction. And many people watching are probably familiar with the quantum and the way that time is not quite what we imagine it to be. When we look at the future and we're taking you to that future place, it's really about helping you get that hindsight, because most of us don't know what the future holds for us.
Right.
We don't know at a conscious level what's going to happen and what's going on. And so whether it be career, whether it be relationships, a move, it could be life purpose. But oftentimes it's with future visioning, it's really about helping you to understand how are things going to play out. And do you like that future? Do you like how that feels? Do you like what's going on and how that turned out? Or do you want to try out a different future? And so we can test out different futures and help you tap into different timelines and understand what are your options here, because the future is unlimited. There are so many possibilities for you. And when you not only understand what the future holds for you, but you can understand what the steps are to get there, you get that hindsight, that understanding from that future version of you. It's so much easier to make your way there. I mean, I've obviously done these experiences myself, and you can know that you're on the path. You can know that well, that card reader told me that, you know, my future is going to be bright, but until you feel it for yourself, until you're like immersed in that future, it's a different story. There's something about feeling it and about being there yourself, being able to tap into that information yourself rather than an external source that I think is just really transformational. So with the future, a lot of different things can be looked at, but it's really about helping you get that hindsight, understand how you got to that future point, maybe what hindsight helps you to understand, like, what should I have done differently, or what do I wish that I would have done, and helping you to kind of tune in and really get sure about that path that you're on. And it's more than just tapping in and understanding it. We also anchor you into that energy throughout the session, and so it's easier to go towards that direction and to find that future because you felt it.
Right.
You've been there.
It's visceral. It's like in the body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Wonderful. I can only imagine the level of clarity that comes from that future, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I had a client who, she was looking at her business and trying to understand what she was supposed to be doing and what she should have been doing, and we were able to uncover that she was supposed to offer these courses. And not only did we uncover that she needed the courses, but we could get titles for these courses. I mean, we got book chapter titles for her in her book. And so there's really no limit to what information we can tap into. What I like to say, though, is that there is some nuance to it, because we are here to live a human experience. We are here to live our lives. And so the information that we're able to tap into is going to be the appropriate information for us. The higher self explains it sometimes, like sometimes you ask for the answers to the test before you've taken the test. And they're like, well, you kind of need to take the test. That's cheating. Yeah. And so there are those experiences, or there are those pieces of information that it's valuable for us to learn and uncover ourselves rather than being given it. And there are those experiences that we need to live through, and we can't just skip around, because that's what we came here for. I firmly believe that we choose our lives and we plan our lives before we come into them. And so there are things that you chose to experience in this lifetime, and you might not like it, but there's definitely a difference when we're incarnated than on the other side and thinking about it. And so yeah, I mean, there's lots of different information that can be obtained through these modalities, through these techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's also this thing where, of course, you and I are on the same page when it comes to, like, we signed up for this, right? We signed up for this, but then when we get here, okay, you signed up for that, we're going to erase all of that. You're not going to remember what you signed up for. Mm-hmm. And here we are going through our day-to-day lives, thinking and wondering, why is this happening to me? Mm-hmm. And then until you go through that why is this happening to me question, right? Oh, you just open up Pandora's box. Oh, yeah. Right? And then suddenly, you just asked that magic question, and you're going to get some of the answers, but I'm not going to give you everything. Exactly. You have to go through the maze, right? Yeah. It's beautiful. And I think that's what makes life so very beautiful. And I think the key to that is living in the energy of curiosity. Oh, yeah. Right? And just being in the moment of, like, I don't know what is this going to unfold for me right at this moment, but I feel there is a knowing in me that I am on the right track. Mm-hmm. Now, in the middle, it might get bumpy, but I know I'm still on the right track, because there's something in there that I need to collect as far as tools. Right. So then I can go to the next level, just like the Mario games, right? It's literally that. Yep. But I am so very curious about why you. I have an idea. Of course, you're guided by your higher self to get into this path. But is there any particular moment? I know you said you love books, you're reading, and you got exposed to different sources like Dolores. Was there like a specific moment in your life, maybe a challenge that made you realize I need to do something different?
I mean, I would say that my life pre-hypnosis was the challenge that made me think that I needed to do something different. Before this, I was a Caribou coffee manager. I managed coffee shops, and I really, like, I went through school. I got into college. I dropped out once, went back to college, dropped out a second time, found my way into Caribou, and and from there I was like, well, this is a fine career, right? Like I like coffee, I like people, like I can make this work. But there was just something about the experience that didn't sit right with me, and I tried to find my way into making it work, and it just didn't really. And so at some point before I stumbled into hypnosis, I was asking this question of like, okay, well, if this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, then what am I supposed to be doing? Like, if this isn't where I'm supposed to be, what exactly? And, you know, when you start asking these questions, well, then the universe starts to show you signs and starts to lead you along the path. And so it was kind of from that, like, oh my God, what do I do with my life? Where am I supposed to be? This doesn't feel right. This doesn't fulfill me. Like, I know there's something more. That was when that book popped into my hand. And you know who gave me that book? It was my district manager at Caribou Coffee.
High five.
Oh yeah, isn't it so funny how that works?
For that book,
right. It has blown me away, like thinking back at how things worked and how like the universe turned it into something that it is today. Like it's just wild to think about the path that I've been on. But yeah, it was through there that feeling of like, oh my God, I can't do this. And looking at all the job opportunities out there, I'm like, I don't want any of these either. Like, what? And so when I stumbled onto hypnosis, it was one of those things that was just so out there where I was like, what? This is an option? I can do this? I can do this? What? Me? Are you sure? Yeah. But I'm not a psychic. I'm not a this. I'm not a that. And it's funny how I've learned to trust myself, my own intuition, my own extra sensory perception. You know, when you start to follow your path, a lot of those other things fall into place, and you start to trust yourself more in these other areas as well, and kind of bleeds out.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I answered your question.
Yes, you did.
Cool.
Yes, and I think that one sacred yes, I call it sacred yes. The sacred yes comes with a couple of different sacred no's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said yes to this, and then the ego says, the higher self said, what about this? What about this? You can't do that. You can't do this. Mm-hmm. Oh, you said yes to this? Okay, I feel like you're very sincere, right? So here's your next step. And you don't like it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that when change happens in your life, even when it's positive change, it can still be scary. It can still be like, oh God, no, but I'm comfortable where I'm at. Please don't push me off the ledge. And your higher self is like, get going. Exactly. You have a mission to complete.
Exactly. How would our listeners find you if they're looking for guidance and how to really connect to the highest version of themselves, their highest self, without playing with a pendulum or going through the Ouija board or crystals? Nothing wrong with those tools.
Oh, right? Yeah, absolutely.
But I am with you in terms of like tools. This right here is the tool. Mm-hmm. Flesh and blood, imagination, your intuition, mm-hmm. your intention, right? So how would they find you? Where would they find you? And what specifically, maybe 3 things that they might be experiencing right now and they don't know what to do, that they can connect with you so that you can help them?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, rayoflighthypnosis.com is my website, Ray of Light Hypnosis. You can also find me on YouTube, Jake Ray Hypnosis. If you search me on YouTube, Jake Ray Hypnosis. I've also got meditations on there as well if you're looking for kind of a taste of what it might be like. It's not quite the same as an experience, but it can definitely give you a feel for how I work, my voice, my pacing, and all that. So check me out on YouTube. Check out my website. 3 things that people might be going through. I mean, I haven't talked to anyone lately who hasn't had some uncertainty about the future. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think most of us have a little bit of uncertainty about that. And there are certainly things that are beyond our personal control. We are a part of the collective. And so there are things that's not your job this time around. But what you can control, you can get insight from the future, to feel more confident moving forward. And it's really, I mean, any area of your life where you feel uncertain, where you feel like you don't know what path to take or what choice to make, the future work can really, really help with that. And I also don't know anyone who doesn't have trauma from some point in their life. I think that human life is hard. We go through tough stuff, and oftentimes we try to mentally work our way through it. We try to talk our way through it. And certainly there is catharsis and there is value in talking about it. And there is value in reworking with your mind. But again, like working that subconscious part of you, working at those deeper levels really helps to break you out faster and more effectively, and really give you all of the tools and the information that you need to make that change in your life. And so, other than that, I mean, I also feel like dating these days is like a hot mess. I haven't talked to anyone who's had a smooth experience lately. And so
It's chaotic up here.
it is chaotic, absolutely. And that's where, whether it be relationship patterns that you can't seem to break out of, and maybe you keep meeting the same guy or the same girl, or you keep ending up in these relationships where people are treating you the same way, whether it be manipulating or lying, or these patterns we can slip into, they have ties to oftentimes our past, whether that be past lives or the current lifetime. And so relationships and understanding it, whether you want to go to the past or you want to go to the future. And you don't have to know that. Like, I can help you determine which way we want to go. But it's also about working with your higher self too. And so there is a level of working with the higher self that allows us to sort of trust them and allow the flow that they bring us through. And that's in all of my work. I mean, I set the intention of working with your higher self in that because it's just so much more effective. I mean, we can have our ideas and what we want, or you can bring your questions or your topics that you want to explore. Your higher self knows what's best. And that's one of the things that I love most about working with that part of people.
Yeah, and that higher self entity, that part of us, does not work in the space-time. And so we can just catapult ourselves into a faster results.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I loved having you today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward for more conversation with you, maybe at the studio.
Oh my God, I would love that. That'd be so fun.
Starting your own.
Hey, it's Will with the Podcast Crew team. Spotlight is a vidcast shot at the Podcast Crew Studios in Minneapolis. We would love for you to be our guest. Email us at the email address on your screen below to get a copy of the upcoming schedule. It's free, it's easy, and it's a great way to try out a podcast or a vidcast with our pro team. We do an in-person, in-studio version if you're in the Twin Cities area, and also an online version if you're somewhere else. We'd love to have you, hear your story, and help you start your podcast journey. Thanks. Get in touch today.